It's the Benz Brunani womanist. Baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. If you sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long shorts. You might learn something you never know. Kelechi fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say you're mine, say you're mine.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda are the last words of a fool. That's such a big tune, do you know it?
No. That's why I even looked at you. What are you singing?
Well. That makes sense because Sadik didn't know any songs, rarely any songs that I would ever sing. That one, yeah.
But he's good with like knowledge of music though.
I think the listeners of this show would very much disagree with you. That Sadik knows songs.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, if you are listening, it's me, Kelechi, in the baby girl in the place to be, and you are watching / listening to SYM, officially known as Say Your Mind, unofficially known as what? That's right, Suck Your Mum. And I have a guest. You've met one brother, Sadik. Now you meet my other brother, Dapo.
Hi guys.
That's literally what Sadik would say as well. Hi guys.
How's everyone doing?
Anyway, so they haven't met you. So in explaining the structure, there's me, then there's you, then Sadik. Yeah. Because I'm always like, oh, that's my baby brother, and so you're my immediate younger brother, and there's 6 years between us. 6 years.
Okay.
Why are you surprised?
Because I've never actually calculated it. Like
you didn't.
I haven't calculated that. Well, yeah, I've always known it's about 6, 7. I thought, yeah.
See, you're turning into daddy. Like daddy doesn't know how old any of us are.
I just know roughly. Yeah, you're a good couple years older than me.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. So it's great to have you on the show. As I'm wrapping up what Say Your Mind is. Moving on to doing my other thing on my website, I just thought it would be nice for everybody to meet you, because some people have seen you at like the live shows. Yeah. They've seen you at Sadler's. They saw you at the Barbican.
Yeah.
But that's it. They don't really know you. They know Sadik.
And I probably look like security half the time. Just standing behind you and just watching. But yeah.
Like if anybody wants to move mad,
please try it. We're ready for you today.
No, I'm glad that we get to do this. I'm glad that you get to come on the show, because I'm always like talking about how much my brothers mean to me, rah, and so it's good to have you join us. I was just looking, like I was flicking my hand about, and my new hand tattoos.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
When did you get that done?
On Friday.
Okay. Was it more? That must be more painful because it's like there's more like dotting and more. I don't know.
Yeah. But it's cool. It was hand poked.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So was it more painful than usually how you get your other tattoos?
I don't think so. Can you see that? It's so beautiful. Well, you can see this on Tuesday because this comes out at 5:55 on YouTube and 5:55 London time PM on YouTube. But I've got both of my hands done and it's just so pretty. Now, yeah, it's not more painful. It's weird. It's not more painful, but it's more intense, if that's the way to describe it. But maybe it's because I'm having it done on my hand where you're, like you're
There's
hitting
bone.
Yeah.
I've got some on my, I've got some on my hand, a little bit on my hand.
Yeah.
And around these areas, it really hurt because this where it was more bony and the needle was going more, felt like it was hitting the bone a bit more.
Yeah.
So it did kind of hurt a little bit.
This to you.
Yeah, so it did hurt a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I love this design. I love it so much, but I don't know if I'd recommend her.
Why?
I just think that she's not good with timing.
What? Oh, so what? She told you a certain how long it's going to take?
It was just a whole fiasco. It was a whole fiasco. So I messaged her in October and I was like, I've seen these designs on your page and I really want to get mine done. Because I've wanted hand tattoo for ages. But one a person I wanted to go to for the hand tattoos. They were basically like, your hands are wrinkly. So
Oh, wow.
it's like, your hands are wrinkly. So it just won't, it can't really sit. But I was like, no, I'm sure that there is space to make what I want work.
Our hands are literally the same.
They're the same. So I was just like, oh, okay. But I understood. I was like, all right, fine. And then I saw her designs with all the hand poke stuff, and I just thought, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I messaged her, and I feel like where I fumbled was that I messaged her off my page.
Okay.
So she's seen the followers. That's what I assume. I could be wrong, but the price that she quoted me for both of these was wild.
Wow. Can you give us a little?
She said 800
just for that. Wow.
And even on the day when I snapped, because I paid a deposit, and then on the day she's like, oh, how much did I tell you it was gonna be? Did I say like 850? I said, you're
850. I would have backed out from the quote anyways. From when I heard that quote, because you've had tattoos before, right?
Yeah.
So you should roughly know how much. This is not at £800. Well, maybe because it's a different technique. I don't know. I've never had that.
No, but I've had
before.
other techniques like Adam Sage. He did these ones. These are hand poked as well on my thumbs. You can't really see there. Well, I'm just trying to show the camera. But Adam Sage did my thumbs, and they're hand poked, and I did not pay that. But obviously, this is a bigger design on the hand, so it would have taken longer. So I get all of that, but I do feel like if one of you lot messaged her and asked for the same design, I just don't know if she's going to tell you the price that she told me. But then at the same time, I also do not believe in pricing people's art for them. If you say that your art is 800, then your art is 800, innit? And like you say, it's either you want to pay it or you don't.
Yeah.
But there'll be somebody that's willing to pay it.
Yeah, but what does this dots like? What does it mean? Anything?
No.
Like it's just so. It's just paid £800 to just get some random. I thought you had a meaning to it, to be honest, because if we're gonna pay £800,
it better mean something.
Something, not just like you just put some dots on me. But yeah, it looks nice. But I'm just saying.
To me, I feel like it symbolizes a flow of energy. That is not. She was just adding things.
Yeah, what she was doing it.
She was like on her tablet, and she was just like moving dots around, and she was just like, okay, we've got your design. I think this will be great. And then as we were doing it, she had to like shift certain things because she didn't want to like hit a wrinkly knuckle. Okay. So she like move things around. But I'm super, super happy with the design. I just feel like there was that instance where it's like, okay, I messaged her from my page and she's gone, boom, this is the price. But I thought I really want it, so I'm not going to price somebody's art for them. Fine, cool. All I need is a deposit of 150. I was like, all right, cool. Here's your deposit of 150. And she said she's got the 8th of December free. So I was like, all right, cool. We're doing the 8th of December. And then I noticed on the 7th of December that I have not received a time that we will be doing this thing. Yeah. So I've messaged her and I've gone, I've just realized that our thing is tomorrow. I've just realized that our session is tomorrow. What time will it be? She messages me the next day, so on the 8th of December, and goes at around 10 a.m. See you at 12:30, love.
Okay.
No, she said 12:30 it is. I was thinking, oh, but we...
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But because I was just going to be like, you know what? Actually, just send my deposit back because I just thought it could not possibly be happening because we have not had any discussions about what I want my thing to look like, what we'll be doing, none of that. So I get to the place, I get there at like 12:25. Is
it a studio or a house?
It's a studio. So she hires a studio space in Shoreditch.
Yeah.
So I get to the studio now. And the receptionist is like, she's not here yet, but just make yourself comfortable. She'll be here soon. I don't think she arrives until like maybe 10 to 1.
Wow.
And then when she gets in, she's very pretty, very stylish. She's cute, you know. What got me was like, there was no sorry I'm late, because to her, and this is why I thought maybe it's a neurodivergence, like, you know, something. Maybe she's on the spectrum in some way, but you can't go around like diagnosing people. But I just do. But I did think that, because I'm like, I understand that there's things such as like time blindness, where people who are on the spectrum sometimes don't have a concept of time.
Time, yeah.
Right? So I thought, Kelechi, calm down. Like, so she walks in and she's like, hi, let me give you a hug. And so I hug her and I'm like, okay. And she's like, oh, I need to get myself ready. And then she starts having a whole conversation with the receptionist girl. They're talking about other things. She goes and eats some food in the back. She goes, so I'm sitting there like gritting my teeth. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I don't know how long it's going to take her, but we should be done by like 5. I've got dinner with a friend at 7. I think it was 7. Or like 7:15, I had dinner with a friend. So I thought it would give me enough time for me to go home because I was in a cream tracksuit. I'm like in a tracksuit today. But I was in a cream tracksuit and I had my Crocs on. So I was dressed as if I was just coming to get a tattoo. I'm going to go home and then go and get ready.
From somewhere to go.
Right, because I was like, I want to wear short miniskirt. I want to do bits, you know, I want to serve a look for 100%. This dinner. And yeah, so I'm just like, okay, fine. We should be done. It'll be fine. She's eating food, having a chat. Then she comes through and she's like, oh, see, this is the design that I've worked out for you. I was thinking, how? Because you haven't seen my hands. But anyway, so she shows me and then I'm like, I don't like this bit. Can we move this and move this and move this? So then we finally got to what I like in terms of the design because I wanted more dots, whereas there's some that she does that's got like lines. So we've landed on what I wanted and we had to kind of improvise along the way as well. So all good. And
so this is going to be a unique design just for you as well. No
ideally.
Ideally. Because you paid £100.
Because otherwise, if I see the next person with the design, we now have to split the money.
100%. Because mate, how did you get here? I made this up for me.
Yeah. So like, no. And so she starts and then she's like taking breaks. Of course, take breaks because it's an intense task. Yeah. But she's going off for ages, then coming back. And then when we're getting... And, you know, after a while, it just starts to irritate, innit? Like, because it's just... I could bear it, but then after a while, it just gets really stingy.
Yeah, because you leave it alone, then you're coming back to it. Yeah, it's just like, just get it over and done with.
Let's just do it. Let's just get it done.
100%.
And so we're doing all of that. And then she goes, oh, I've got this flatmate who is going to come and do some video recording for me of this design. So it'll take him about half an hour to get here, but we're almost done. These times there was only a little bit more to do. And I was thinking, but I didn't even consent. You're making me pay 800 and then I'm also being a hand model. So what are we really saying in this situation? Like, you didn't go, oh, do you mind?
Yeah.
But I just thought, you know what? I'm not in the mood to argue today. I've already used up my argument energy in the weeks prior. Like, you know, like, I'm empty. I'm on empty. I don't want to argue with another person. People don't like to see sense. Like, I just don't want to. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. Then we're still there an hour later because she's gone off. Because the person is not coming for a half an hour, she's gone off to do other things. And then finally we finish. And then they start setting up, putting... cloth here, there, everywhere. These times I'm looking at the time thinking realistically, with the way that traffic is mad at the moment and there are train strikes today, there is no point me leaving Shoreditch to go back to Bermondsey to go and get changed to come back out again. I'm already in Shoreditch, so it makes sense to go from here to you know, Piccadilly or whatever. So I was going to Papa L's, so it makes sense to just go from here. And it was vexing me because I don't want to go for dinner. And when I had a plan that I'm gonna look hot, I'm gonna look spicy, I'm going in a freaking green tracksuit with Crocs.
Yeah, it's messed you up.
Oh my God! And no makeup. Oof. Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kept saying to myself, no, Kelechi's fine because your friends, your people can see you as you are. It's fine. And I don't tend to wear makeup anyway. Like I'm not wearing makeup today. But I had a vision in my head of how I wanted to look for that particular
100%.
dinner.
You wanted to step up correct.
Right. And now I'm stepping out like what?
You just left your house, you just ran out your house.
Like I literally look like that mum that's struggling and dropping her son at the school gate. That's what I'm looking like.
Oh, no,
my saving grace was I was wearing Gucci socks.
Helps you small.
Yeah, because then it looks intentional.
Yeah.
Like this is style. I'm dropping style. Thank God for Kevin Morosky for getting me those Gucci socks. Because I had on a Gucci sock, so it offset the Crocs and the tracksuit. The tracksuit was cream, so also that's giving, you know, opulence, because who the fuck is wearing cream tracksuit in London? Like
that.
How are you're going to be dirty? But so... Those were my saving, and I'm running to Boots, trying to buy a little bit of concealer, trying to buy a little bit of eyebrow pencil, all because of this. And there was a point where I was looking and I was just really getting irritated as they were setting up this thing so she could make a video. And she was like, put your hands like this, put your hands like this. It won't be much longer. I just want to get the right photos. I was like, I've got to go and pick up my son because I just thought I need to say something.
Something till you understand.
Yeah, but I have no son that I'm going to go and pick up because he's already been picked up by the nanny. But I'm like, I need to go pick up my son, so I need to leave. She's like, oh, we'll be done soon. Hour later, we're still doing.
Yeah.
So I just thought, you know what? No, I feel like I was priced because of my following.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And I also feel like there was no regard for my time. I got there at 12:30. I did not leave until like maybe 6:15 or.
And then you had to be at that dinner for 7.
7:15.
Oh.
And I got to the thing early anyway, so that's what gave me time to now run to Boots and just try and get a little bit of concealer, something, just so I did it, because I left the home like, oh, I'm bathed, I'm fresh. I'll just come back, you know, clean up my face again, you know, from being outside, wipe up my face, and then put on my outfit and I'm ready to go. No. So I'm just knowing that I could have served a look. And I was out in a cream tracksuit with Crocs to go out to
Gucci socks. Don't forget that, but we tried.
The Gucci socks saved me.
Honestly.
So because I know that some of you will see my hands at some point and be like, Kelechi, that's so beautiful. Please respect my privacy at this time. I do not want to share the name of the person. I like recommending people that I feel like I've gotten an overall great service from. And that's not what I received. So on this occasion, we'll just have to take that. The design came out beautifully. But no, maybe some of you might be like, Kelechi, I'm neurodivergent, and so I don't mind if her time is all over the place. Okay, you find her then. I will not be providing those details. You go and do that. But so that's been like my experience. But what I find really funny is that you were the first one to get tattooed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was.
What was it like the day that Mummy first saw?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you know, like, I've been hiding my tattoo for like months now. So
where that was the one
I had on my waist.
Can you tell us more about it?
Well, I decided one day Dapo decided one day to wake up and go and get a gun tattoo. It's even weird saying it now, but yeah. I decided to go and get. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. How old was I at the time? I think I was about 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about 18. So yeah, I was just living this Peckham life.
SE15.
Yeah. So yeah, I just decided to go and get a gun tattooed on me. Do you know what it was? It was watching music videos.
Not you blaming the music.
No, I'm gonna blame the music videos. I'm gonna blame YouTube. I'm sorry to say, because I hadn't seen anyone walking around with a gun tattoo in my life till I watched YouTube and these Americans, and yeah, so yeah, it was because of them. It was because of videos.
It was because of you.
Yes.
Can you understand? It
you
was
Chicago rappers. It was because of you guys. Yeah, blame you lot. But yeah, so being in that sort of mindset and everything, I just decided one day to go and, like, even my friend that was going went to go get Dreamchaser. I went to go get, do you know what I mean? Like,
you were watching different music
videos, yeah, like Dreamchaser gun. Well, you know what I mean? Even then, I should have thought, oh, maybe I should get something, but no. So anyway, yeah. So I've got that done. I'm happy with it. I'm just whatever. But I still remember I'm living with my mum at the time. So I'm walking around with my top on. I'm making sure I'm keeping on top of it. Then one day I'm just having a conversation with her on the by the bathroom, just talking. And then, you know how mummy is, she's talking. So she just started stressing me. So I was like, oh, can you just leave me alone?
And you raised your arm up.
Yeah, and my top went up. I just see her eyes just look down. She started laughing, and I'm thinking, why is this woman laughing? She said, this boy is going to kill me. I remember you was in the room, I was in his room. She just starts calling everybody out of their room. Guys, come and see this. Come and see what your brother has tattooed. I'm thinking, wow, where do I go to now? she even said that she's gonna call Nigeria. I'm thinking,
what are they gonna
calling
do?
in Nigeria? What are they gonna come and do? Do you know what I mean?
They're gonna get a flight
and come and deal with me or what? Oh, anyway, yeah.
Let me tell. If only Suella Braverman was around, I would have told her immigration.
So yeah, she just went off on one, and yeah, I will never forget that day because that's the first time I thought, what did you actually do? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, was it worth it? Because she even said something like, "Oh, you couldn't even go and get mum." Do you know what I mean?
And that is so typically her. Like, it's just about her.
Yeah, she wanted to make it about herself.
Like, oh, mummy, I bought myself. No, you'll be wearing something cute, and she'll be like, oh, where did you buy that one? Oh, I bought it from here. Oh, how much was it? It was on sale. No, how much was it? It was a price. So you can spend that money instead of giving that money to me.
And
what?
You know what I mean?
What?
I thought she was actually going to be pissed that all in all I got a tattoo.
Yeah.
But the fact is, okay, it's what you got, and on top of that, you didn't even get mum as your first one. Like usually, people get mum and stuff like that as their first tattoos. I was like, you know what?
Fair enough.
Fair enough. You know what I mean? I even started lying. I said to her, I got it when I was 16. You haven't seen it for years. These times it was quite like recent, a bit months. So
Yeah.
I was like, but I don't know. I don't know whether I want to cover it up or just.
I mean, I think you make that choice as life goes on, but it is a part of your journey, isn't it? Like, it's a part of your growth, your evolution, because now you're just like not in the lifestyle. So it's just like,
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to have like, my son did ask me what was that, and I was just looking at him like,
that's true.
you know what I mean?
That's
So I
true.
just kind of want to. I'll find.
How do you cover up a tattoo of a gun like
On
you
your
can't even
waist.
on your waist? Are you gonna draw a Teletubby on top of it? Like,
Or
what?
a star or what? What do you do?
Dreamchaser.
There, yeah, finally, Dreamchaser. Like, or what the hell? Put one quote there. I don't know what to do. I don't know, but I'll figure something out. Figure something out. That's why I've tried to balance it out with like
A skull on your wrist.
yeah, but then I've got an angel on the other, so do you know what I mean? Good and bad. Do you know what I mean? I've tried to help myself in some sort of way. Don't want to look like one demon.
Talking of demons, when mummy sees this, she's gonna lose it. Because I feel like you got a tattoo, you got tattoos, and then Sadik,
He hasn't got one.
he has.
Has he got one?
Yeah.
Where?
I think on his rib.
What's he got?
What year was he born? He's got the year, his birth year.
And that's one thing I don't like about people getting tattoos. I don't like people getting their initials and the date of birth.
Why?
Because are you going to forget one of these things? And even if you do, I'm sure you got a birth certificate, passport, something's going to remind you. Like, oh, what's my date of... Oh yeah, 1994. Sorry guys, I just almost completely forgot. You know what I mean?
If I didn't check my waist, I would not.
What's your name? Yeah, Dapo Belogan. I got it tatted. Like those sort of tats. Okay, I've got a gun, whatever. But the people that's got those sort of stuff. If I knew he's got that, I would have said something to him. That's what you actually want. You want to go and get your year you was born on you, like. Okay.
Now I've baited him up.
No, we're gonna have words, but I never knew that.
I think that's what he's got. I think it's his year of birth. I think so.
Must have got it on holiday somewhere.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're gonna get a tattoo, get it somewhere like LA, where them tattoo artists are on a madness.
Yeah.
Like they're so talented.
And those are the right people that are paying like £800 because like deposit what you put down is for like an hour session.
Yeah.
£150.
Yeah.
That's like an hour session. So.
It was mad. But I think she was also making up for the fact that she knew she was going to drag out my day. Because if we're thinking about from 12:30 till 6 something when I've left, if you put it per hour, she's charged me for every hour that she knew she was going to drag out.
Yeah.
But again, that's her. Maybe that's just
so
her
my was
style.
just got one. Sadiq, sorry.
Right. He'll be like, what? We know. I think it's different for us when we're talking about him. We just use the name we've always used for him,
cool,
but
yeah.
he prefers Sadik.
Sorry.
I think he's got one. He's so Pisces in that he's so secretive. So I don't even know. Not even that he's secretive. He's just got a private life.
Yeah, very private.
So I just
Very
so you
private.
just don't know. Like his phone's on do not disturb. Like if you get him, you get him. If you don't, you don't.
And then when you call him and you get through to him and you find out what he was doing, it's like, so You don't want to speak because you're watching the Netflix something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And you just
I was just listening to music.
So you don't want to speak.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
All right, then, no problem.
Fair enough. All right, enjoy. So I'm just so used to like just sending him voice notes now. I don't even try to call him because there's literally no point. Like, no point.
And this thing is, I kind of started off everything. So I was the first to get my ears pierced.
Yeah.
Maiwa went to go, Sadiq went to get his ears
You're
pierced.
just going to have to call him my way. He'll deal with it.
Sadiq went to go get his ears pierced. Mummy hated me for that.
Yeah, I
like,
think that she thinks that you're the instigator.
Yeah,
like,
that instigator.
You're the bad gang.
And everyone was getting onto me for getting a tattoo. Now look, everyone's getting tattoos.
I think maybe that's what you had to do. You had to first be the one to like discombobulate her, and then everyone was like, "Well, Dapo's already done it, so I don't see." But when it's me, she's like, "Kelechi, I'm just so disappointed in you. I'm so disappointed in you because I thought that you and me we were on the same page. When Dapo, Ati, Mayowa, they were getting tattoos, you were the only one that I thought, you agreed with me. We don't like tattoos. We don't like. Of course, you were doing your piercing, but I thought we agreed that we don't like tattoos. And now everywhere,
you got more than me.
She was like, you even have more than the both of them combined." I was like, when the spirit gets you,
it gets you,
boy.
I'm due to get more. I just need to find time. Work has been dealing with me, as you can see. Like, I'm not looking my best.
You were really stressed about being on camera.
Yeah, because I was thinking, you didn't even give me no heads up the day before. You're telling me, yeah, the camera's going to be on. I'm thinking, I haven't even got a trim. I ain't done nothing. I've just been working like a dog all week.
Like a dog.
Please, sis, give me you know what I mean?
But then you come back the next time. So the next time, I think it would be good to have you and Sadik on. It would be great if Mummy could be here, but I don't even know if I've got the couch space. I'd have to move things around, and I'd need to use my second camera.
She can stand up.
Mummy, stand.
Yeah, you let her stand for
She
a
doesn't
bit.
even want to walk to Peckham.
I know. Or to the corner shop.
No.
Literally.
Let me call Deborah so Deborah can go for me. Like, why do you have so many send-outs? Why?
She can find anyone to be her send out. There's a guy that was living on top of us. All of a sudden, he's coming to the house with shopping, and I'm thinking, how did you recruit this guy? Is there
a full-grown man?
Yeah, is there job applications that you're putting out somewhere and making people sign to go do shopping for you?
TaskRabbit could never. She should develop her own app because she can really find people to just do anything
for her. I don't know how she does it.
And these people are going to Peckham to go and buy a leg of beef and cow foot. And
then if they get it wrong, she'll send them back.
I need that kind of magic in I need that kind of magic, that kind of charisma, because God. I don't know how she does it, because she does audacious things, and I'm like, why are people acquiescing to your requests?
I don't know.
Mrs. Man.
I don't know how.
But yeah, when you have your trim, you can just come back.
Yeah, definitely be prepared for the comeback, because it's going to be great. Because Jesus Christ, I'm really out here looking like a dog.
You look great, but we all have our personal standards. Like I said, going to dinner wearing a tracksuit with Crocs was not on my list.
Not you at all.
No, it was such a piss take. When you it's so irritating. You know that you want to wear mini skirt, you want to look cute.
Yeah, you're doing tracksuit for
a baggy, not even like a fitted tracksuit, a baggy cream velour tracksuit with Crocs.
Nothing that's helping you at all.
Nothing. I just look shapeless. I just look like a marshmallow. Oh God!
But they've seen what you're working with anyway, so they know.
But you know, sometimes it feels like false advertising. Then when you're finally there in person, they're like, look, Croc girl.
This is not what we've seen on Insta.
You know, so to balance it out, I had to quickly put the picture up on me on Insta in a gold dress from the other night, because like, guys, I know how to dress.
Trust me.
I just had some issues that day, but I know how to dress. But that was, what else was I gonna I was going to talk about the new show that's going to be behind the paywall, but I'll talk about that later. I'm looking forward to finishing this podcast and moving on to what I want to do next, because it's going to be on my website. You have to subscribe to it. I want to do more like daily. It'll feel more like a vlog. Yeah. As opposed to like this, which is like more current affairs and pop culture. It will just be more chilled. And so I could talk about things, because I want to talk about, like, for instance, life after, you know, separation, divorce, all of that, like just different things. But I just don't feel like the girlies should get that just in the public domain, because people are bad mind. Like, they're very, even when you tell me that, one of my friends was talking about you the other day, and I'm just like, how do your friends know who I am?
Yeah. You are quite known out there. And I don't even know how people have associated you with me sometimes, but some people know, and I just go on with it. I'm like, yeah, that's my sister. Sometimes I feel like, do I deny it in this moment? You know what I mean? Because I don't know where you're coming with this.
That's it. Because
You know what I mean?
if you haven't landed, do we need to have this
Yeah,
conversation?
if someone says, "Oh, is Kelechi your sister?" I'm thinking, yeah. Oh, do I? Yeah,
Why?
I mean, yeah. First, I even want to ask why, but when you've asked why, you've already kind of said yes, because if she wasn't your sister, you just kind of say no.
No,
So
yeah.
for me to say why, I've really. So, but yeah, but some people are just like, oh, you know, she's lovely and this and stuff like that. I don't think anyone's gonna come up to me with any hateful remarks because I don't think that would be smart.
I wouldn't. It
You know
would
what I mean?
not. It
Not
wouldn't.
saying I'm gonna, you know, but I'm just saying it's just I'm not the person you're gonna come.
Disclaimer.
That you're gonna come and start talking about my sister anyhow.
Yeah.
But, yes, but more time if anyone asks you, it's just to say, oh yeah, I love your sister, this and that.
like
She's
that.
very outspoken and stuff like that. Some of them have tried to give me tips to give to you, but I said,
What kind of tips?
I don't know. I think someone did tell me that, oh, you need to calm down a little bit. And I was like, yeah, just message her on Instagram. Just, yeah, you can DM her.
Tell
and
her.
you can tell her, like, you know what I mean? And you can see how calm she will be with you. I don't, you know what I mean? I should tell my sister to calm down. All right.
But I feel like it's weird because they don't see what it was like for us growing up. Like,
100%.
what's mad is that they're meeting me in my calm era.
The calmest. The calmest. Oh, God. I'm being real. and I have to say this to people because what you're getting now, and if you think this is too much, Jesus Christ, man.
I feel like it's been like a major overhaul of like of finding a way to use that immense energy that I have in a different, better, more conducive way.
Yeah.
And it's not been an easy process. And I feel like sometimes maybe when I'm talking on a podcast solo, or that people are just seeing me now and I don't post about you, don't post about Sadik, don't post much anymore. Ever since like my platform started growing, I post less about
your
family, right?
Yeah.
And so they think that that's like when it was the whole thing with like, oh, you know, who's her partner? She's with a white man. Like they were really and I'm making a big deal. And I'm like, no, I just generally don't post about my personal life because if I post and you say something wayward, I'm going to want to beat you up. And you don't understand that. I'm not saying that because I'm just saying it. I will want to beat you up.
Yep.
And I don't want to live that life.
And yeah, trust me, you can't just have like people can't say something and you just want to see them and obviously do stuff to them, but like some of just how we are and how we reacted to stuff in life can bring that feeling out of us, but not necessarily you want to continue to live your life.
And so you have to mitigate yourself. Like, I don't want to do this. And this is what's the hardest thing about being in the industry that you will now slowly be joining at some point is that people get to move mad because they can call the police. And it's just like, we're in this industry, you wouldn't do this in any other circumstance, but because you know essentially my hands are tied, you're doing something that in any other circumstance, I would grab you by the throat and I would hold on tight.
very, very tight.
So it's but I'm glad to be where I am now and where I feel like I'm moving more towards, even in terms of like
I'm definitely proud of you of how far you've come and how you handle stuff as well, because like I said, if anyone knew you like maybe say 5-6 years ago, like it would have been they would have had issues. Like you couldn't just say stuff to you and it would just be like, you know what I mean? Now the way you shut down people is different from how you probably would have shut down people before. But I definitely take my hat off to you. You've come a long way. Because at one point I used to be scared of you too. So
not you.
No,
not you.
I used to be like, oh, look, I ain't even going. You know, I ain't even saying nothing to sis, boy. That's you. Ain't getting myself in that. If I get fucked up today, no way. You know what I mean?
But I think that even as siblings, we've come a long way together because it wasn't easy for us, like two people with the kind of energies that we have and
100%.
we've had to really build on it over the years. And I feel like I'm proud of you for how far you've come, because now, like, I can't even believe it. Like, somebody will do something and you're just so gentle about it. You're just like, yeah. And I think of how people know you in terms of reputation and that how you are now. What do you feel like was the changing? What do you think like led to that? What was the point where you were just like, I just can't do this anymore?
Do you know what? I started to realize, like, obviously I went away for time. I went to prison. So during that time and sitting down and reflecting on my life, I just come to realize like some of the stuff I was doing and behaving was for other people.
Yeah.
Naturally, I'm not even really like this.
No,
Do you know what I
no.
mean? I've got lost in the behavior of that's not me. So like just to survive, I'm behaving like this just so, like, let's say, like I said, I had the reputation for myself. So just to live up to that.
Yeah.
And then I just realized I don't even care. I don't even want to have problems with certain people. Like some things don't even bother me like that, but I have to act like they bother me because you expect it to be, for it to bother me, and I can't let certain like things.
And when people are coming up, they feel like they need to prove a point. And if you said that this is the baddest guy, like, I need to show that I can. And then your ego's like, you want to try me, and then it's back and forth.
It's like a lot of proving. You're proving. And I realized like you're going to be proving yourself for a long time because no matter what you do, someone's always going to try it. Someone's always going to say something. There's always someone who wants to test you and become you.
Yeah, and take your spot. Yeah.
So I just like, you know what? I can't be bothered. And nowadays, it's just like, it is what it is. I don't have that energy in me no more because having that energy for so long is just overwhelming and you get lost in who you really are. And I'm kind of happy of who I am.
Yeah.
You can say that I'm a dickhead now, that's fine. Yeah.
Really?
Call me a dickhead even more, please, times 2. Like, yes, let's say what you want, behave how you want. Just as long as you're not full on disrespecting me and trying to put your hands on me or like whatever, let it be. But I'm not getting drawn out like how I usually used to get drawn out. And it's just easy for me not care about what irrelevant people have to say, because you can say what you're going to say, but you're not going to do nothing when you see me. You know, just as long as that's the case, say what you want, be how you want, just stay out of my way. And I stay out of people's ways as well. And we just all live our lives now the way I live my life, the way I want to live it now. Because
everyone's grown now as well. Like your friends are getting married, like all of the things. So like people that even would be on that back, everybody's lives have changed. People have kids. Like, what are you really doing?
I don't get it twisted. I've still got some of my friends that are in their 30s and still wanting to live that life, but that just goes to show me that I can't be associated with people like that, because in your 30s you still want to have a street name, you still want to be amongst the street life. It's like you said, people are getting married, people are finding their careers, people are buying their houses, people are just, in their sense, my age mates are just cooling off now, and that's what it needs to be.
And I feel like it's true, because I feel like when you know that in yourself, who you could be and who you have chosen to be, there is such power in that. And I feel like that's what gets me sometimes through when somebody is blatantly trying me, like especially in this podcasting world. You'll see somebody say something and you're like, 6 years ago, I would smash your fucking jaw. Like, but now I've just got to give you a respectable silence. I've just got to do what needs to be done, because I've got so much more, not even in terms of like from a fear perspective of I've got so much to lose. No, I've got other things to actually gain. There's so much that I want to give out to life. And I think I have those moments when I'm really proud of myself, because I'm like, this could have gone a different way.
Trust. Do you know how much times I laughed to myself? I'm like, oh God, man, if only you knew. Only you knew. Oh God. I literally laugh to myself. Even at work sometimes when someone says something to me to test me, I just laugh. I just think, oh God, you don't even know who you're really speaking to, you know.
Oh my God.
Just carry on. It's okay.
People get spicy.
Trust me.
They get spicy, and you're like, it's only because we're in a professional setting. Because if you know I ams,
trust me, I can quickly tell you to come outside,
and it'll be over. It'll be over really quickly.
You know them back in the days, come round the corner.
Yeah, let's go around the corner. Come around the corner.
Trust me, you don't want that these days.
But I feel like I'm glad of where we are, because I think it was hard. And I feel like it was hard as well, because I feel like mummy placed a lot of responsibility for you both on me.
100%.
So like, I remember one night that was really, really like terrible, and you know, the police was there and everything was happening. And then she was just like, see, if you'd raised your brothers better, this situation wouldn't be happening. And that really stuck with me, because I was just like, what? Like,
how did it get to me?
What? Now why am I in it? See, I didn't even do nothing. Now why am I in it? But I think that I've always felt like a responsibility for you, a responsibility for Sadik. And yeah, so I think it's been really, really kind of hard, like, you know, caring so much and feeling like the extra mum. But we're all trying to navigate our own things. And I feel like now I'm so proud of like you just doing your thing and like not giving up and just, you know.
It took a while, but I think everyone finds themselves when they do, but sometimes you need to find yourself there quicker than
because some people are nearing 60
and you still haven't found yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I said, it was you being the way you were and obviously raising us and seeing you change and doing all of this, because I remember like from growing up, I just remember sis is doing cadet, she's doing kickboxing, she's doing modeling, there's acting, like you've been doing so much and you've never just not stopped and not did nothing. You've always tried to find things to do, man. Even if it didn't work out, it never put you down. You said, okay, on to the next, on to the next. And I just took that up in my life and thought, like, sis does it. Like, I shouldn't be afraid to try new things. Even if it don't work out, you can find something else and move on, and something will eventually work out. Look how so much things has worked out for you because you took those chances. If you let the things shut you down and we just became more depressed and thought, okay, this is it, and just became more angry and stuff like that, we would have never got nowhere. But it's the fact that we've kept on taking chances in life to do things that's even made us more happier, because we've accomplished things, and now naturally helps our personality and helps our growth. But I feel like that's the reason why I've taken this opportunity to change, and just because of watching you and Maiwa as well. Maiwa is just...
He's that guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he sometimes is my big bro. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and that's the energy he brings. I literally go to him, like, I'll be sending him screenshots of me cussing people out, and I'll be like, look at what they did. And he'll be like, sis, like, so I just wouldn't have given them that much energy. I just don't think that they deserve that kind of energy. So next time, let's not do that.
Do that.
I was asked to go on Piers Morgan. I was asked to go on Piers Morgan's show last week or the week before. And I thought to myself, because of, you know, how much I've kind of grown in this industry, and I've always said, to me, he's like the final boss of fuckers. Like one day I'm going to be on a debate with him and I'll flog him. I'll flog him well. And then the opportunity presented itself, and I looked at it and I was just like, I should do it, because I don't feel like my book has been promoted in the way that it needs to be promoted. All of those things. I was thinking about all the technicalities as to why I should do this, deal with him, and then my name is, you know, out there. I've dealt with him. I've done what I needed to do. But because I was dealing with other things as well, with, you know, just like personal stuff and people just being disappointing as people, I was just like, and I was tired. I'd just come back from Nigeria as well. Lev wasn't really sleeping well because I'd been gone. And so when I was back now, he was a bit annoyed with me. So he would wake up in the middle of the night and be crying, checking that I was there. So all of that was happening. So I hadn't been sleeping well. And yet I was still like, this is my opportunity to do what I need to do. And in essence, like, prove myself like I've done it now. And then I said to Sadik, all right, cool. I'm thinking of going on Piers Morgan. They asked me to come on and they're going to pay me well. You know, I think I should do it. And he was like, no.
Don't give him.
He was like, do not do it. Think of every reason you've said in the past that you wouldn't do it, and remember that in this moment, your book will get to where your book needs to get to. Because it wasn't like, the reason I'm mentioning the book is because what they were asking me to talk about was fairly trivial. So if I wouldn't be thinking about my book if it was a serious subject. Like, I don't know, knife crime or something. That's a serious subject. But they were asking me to come and talk about essentially something that's trivial, so I could talk about it and then
go into your book.
So that's what I was like, all right. But he was like, you don't also want your book affiliated with that sort of energy, and you've just come so far. Like, you don't need to prove anything to anyone by going on that show, and you'll be getting him the views.
100%.
Because I did say, when they were asking me, I said, you do know that Piers has me blocked, right? And they were like, oh, let me go and talk to him quickly and his editor. So they've gone off and they were like, no, Piers is happy for you to come on. And I thought, you raggedy bitch. So if upon blocking me, you would still happy because you know I bring that down. You know I bring the numbers. But also, because you're prepared for me to come on now, you'll try and do things to go
draw
to
you
me.
out.
Yeah. And that's what she was saying, like, you know, he's going to try and get to you. He's going to try and get to you, but just hold your ground and say what you need to say. But the thing is, I don't know, because like we were just saying now, I don't know at any point where 6 years ago me is going to come out. And what I don't need it to do is come out when I'm dealing with Piers and lose my head because he said something that's irritated me.
100%.
So when I'm speaking to Sadik now, he's just like, no, don't go on. And actually, there are people who believe in you so much and they believe in your integrity that if you were to go on, that it would disappoint them.
Damn.
And it's not like me saying that you need to live for other people, but think about the people who go by your words.
And look up to
yeah,
you
he was
in a
like,
sense,
so,
yeah.
and I just said, so I messaged and I was just like, nah, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not coming. I don't want to do it. And then the next day, they're messaging again, no, that we really, really want you on. Would you come on if we maybe got Dr. Scholler to be on with you? And I was like, absolutely not. Then it looks farcical. Then it looks staged. And then it looks like really like it's just not cool. So I turned it down. And in that moment, it's like what you were saying about him feeling like a big brother. I realized, and this is why I love his energy, him being like my Pisces boo. His energy, he reminds me of the greater good, like the bigger thing that I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And it just let me know that I don't need to go on Piers. I don't need to go on any daytime TV show anymore to do anything, because I've already set pace. I've already made my impact, and I can leave it there. The fact of the matter is, you asked me and I turned it down.
Yeah. And
And
that's
it's
good
cool.
enough, yeah.
Yeah.
And it probably will come again and you just keep turning it down. But like I said, you will always find something or what you need to do when you need to do it.
Yeah.
Having been on the show with Piers Morgan right now is probably not something.
It's not
you
worth
even-
it, yeah.
well, nothing
And
for you to
it
do
shouldn't
right
be
now.
his show. If we're ever going to tussle, it needs to be on neutral ground, like somebody else's show, where you can't just be shouting because it's your show, so you
Yeah.
can shout me down. We need to be on somebody else's. It's a neutral platform. It's a street somewhere, an alleyway, whatever the case may be. But it's nobody owns
Where
it.
you feel like you can tell someone
Yeah,
to cut my
yeah,
mic
yeah,
off
yeah,
and
exactly.
stuff like that. No.
Which we're not going to be doing that, and then you edit it any way you see fit
it.
thereafter. No.
Yeah.
Let's be on a neutral platform so I can flog you and I can flog you efficiently.
Yeah.
You know?
And not edit out parts
yeah,
that you got
yeah.
proper flogged in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, so I really appreciated him in that moment, like bringing me back. And he was just like, and also, you've just been having to explain to grown people why what they were doing is wrong. You do not have the mental capacity right now to now go and argue with another grown person to tell them why they are wrong. So just leave it alone.
And I don't feel like there's any winning with that guy.
There's no winning. And he only respects men. Like, you know, he'll take feedback from men, but women, especially black women, he'll try and get one in there and then I'll have to
the
jump
last
across
say.
the table and slap you. So I don't want to do all of that. So we've talked about all of that really. I think that, well, what was I going to do? Should I do a tarot today? I think I'll do a general tarot because I'm not going to pick a question. Well, you can pick a question for me. What do you think the tarot question should be for this week? What do you think I should talk about?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Surprise me.
No, you hit me. What would be on your mind to know?
What, for myself?
Or for the collective, whichever.
No, I'm gonna do it for myself. Sorry.
Okay.
You're
like, I'm gonna do it for myself. Fuck all of y'all.
Sorry.
Fuck
I need to
y'all.
know where my life's going right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a good word. Like, am I on the right path type of thing? Is like, am I going the right way? Is there like...
It's Dapo on going the right way. Oh, I love that. We've got 10 of Wands. We've got the 10 of Wands in reverse. I should switch to the other camera, but I didn't. I should put it the right way. We've got the 10 of Wands in reverse. It shows a figure carrying a log, 10 logs on their back, you know, like, and then there's like a little bird that sat on top of it while they're carrying this log.
Extra weight.
Yeah, adding extra weight. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse. What's this card here? The Magician. I love that because what we've got here, we've got like I said, we've got the 10 of Wands, then we've got the King of Pentacles in reverse, which is you. We've got the Ace of Cups in reverse, and then we've got the Magician card. What I'm picking up here is that you are on the right path, but it's taken a lot of trial and error, and you're having, but it feels like more strong advice here for you than anything. You have to not take paracetamol for other people's headaches. You're carrying a lot of loads that isn't yours to carry. You're carrying somebody like else's burdens, other people's burdens, and you know, it feels like even from childhood, carrying things that weren't yours to carry, almost like generational in energy. And also because wands signify fire, releasing anger, releasing anything that's like holding you up your heart space. It feels very much, because I'm getting the idea of the heart, it's holding up your heart space. And the King of Pentacles is you're way too generous when it comes to finances and things like that, and learning how to save better, because your destiny is to be somebody that has a lot of material wealth. That's why the King of Pentacles came out. But you, and also on top of that, you also have to know your value, and you also have to know that you deserve to experience and enjoy the finer things in life. But because we've got the Ace of Cups here, also talking about how much you pour into and how much you give of yourself, you need to find what fulfills you. And the dove being here, this white dove being shown at the top of the Ace of Cups, is saying that you have to forgive yourself. There's this energy here of like, you are on the right path, but you can't walk that path comfortably if you do not forgive yourself for whatever you deem to be mistakes, or for how long you feel it took you to get here. Because Pentacles are a slow moving energy, because it represents earth signs. So even though you're Cancer, as in water, this is you. It's saying that you have to learn to forgive yourself so you can walk that path with confidence. If you're always thinking like, oh, I don't even deserve this, then you can't be in your full power, because the one card that is upright is the Magician card. And the Magician card is the second card in the tarot deck, but it's numbered as 1. And why I think it's come out is because 0, the Fool card, is the first card. So it says that you've learned so many lessons from being the Fool, that first card, that new energy, and you're now stepping into the energy of the Magician, where you're learning to use all that you've learned to move forward in life. But in order to do that, there has to be more of a release. You have to let things go. You just can't carry them where you're going, and you have to think about what emotionally fulfills you. Yeah, the Tower card in reverse comes out. The Tower card in this deck is depicted as a lighthouse that like has been struck by lightning, and people are falling out the lighthouse and all sorts are happening. But the reason that this has come out is because it said like it's almost like you're still waiting for the worst to happen. You still feel like something is round the corner, like I haven't quite been punished enough, or I haven't quite, like there's something else waiting for me. And the card is saying there isn't anything else waiting for you. Like, just live life. Like, you have to trust yourself that you're capable of having goodness happen to you, good things happen to you in your life, and know that you are deserving of it. And we've got the Knight of Swords here in reverse, and the Two of Pentacles, that you're trying to make some kind of decision about where to go and what to leave, or what, like, you're trying to figure out what direction. If the Two of Pentacles, this person's like juggling pentacles, they're juggling 2 coins. You want to leave some kind of situation, whether it's a work environment, because it's in the mind. This is something that you're thinking about. You want to move forward. You want to maybe even change your perception of particular things and particular dynamics, but you're weighing up like, is this something I should do? Should I do this? Is this the right way to go? And the Magician card is saying that, as above, so below, is what the Magician card depicts. Like, in your heart what you need to do. And the Emperor card comes up here in reverse as well. You need to be more in your power. Everything is pointing to you not being in your power, not taking decisive steps to be the person that you want to be. And you have to trust. Yeah, it's just a lot of trust. Then we've got the Judgment card here as well. And the Judgment card coming up. So you've got so many major arcana cards. So that means like they're life energies as opposed to minor arcana. These are minor arcana because they're like day-to-day energies. And so the major arcana with the Judgment card coming out is saying that if you look at the card here, this God is weighing the heart against the feather. And this is all you have to be concerned with in life. When you leave this earth and your heart is weighed against the feather, that heart needs to weigh equal to that feather. It needs to be light. It needs to, you need to know that you've done everything as you were meant to have done them. Yeah.
Not have a heavy heart.
Yes. Don't have a heavy heart. Don't have a heavy heart. And so that's the path that you're on, but you have to have the words to know that that's the path you're on. How can I unburden my heart so I can walk to, so I can know that I've done right by myself. The Hermit card, like, yeah, the Hermit card coming out here. The Hermit card is a Virgo card, but usually signifies retreating and going inwards and doing lots of introspection. This is saying that you've had so much time for going inwards and having that introspection, like you talked about earlier with prison and stuff. And so now it's time for you to step out with the lessons that you've learned and just continue walking that path. And the thing about the Hermit card, with it holding, this hermit holding the lantern, is that you can't see where you're going in the darkness. A lot of us can't see where we're going, but we just know that we just have to put one foot in front of the other and just trust that if our heart is the compass, that we are being led to our true north. Like, we just keep going and it all will be well. Now, from the Dickhead and Recovery Affirmation card deck, what have we got? Oh, that flew right out. We've got, I choose myself this time. That's your message. And we've got, to cuss or not to cuss, that is the question. I am responsible for the answer. What was that like for you?
What, to cuss or not to cuss?
Yeah.
How difficult it is.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. I have to hold my mouth every single day.
And then charms. What charms have we got? We've got the letter G here. We've got a bag of money, so money coming into money.
Inshallah, please.
And we've got this heart that says like love, and it feels like a love letter. So writing something to yourself or looking back on letters that you've been written. And then this hand that has a hole in it that has heart, it always makes me think of sacrifice and the things that we sacrifice for the sake of love. But then this card coming out saying I choose myself this time, is like you have to choose yourself this time. Choose, if you're looking at dynamics, look at the things that make you feel happy, like where you've experienced happiness recently, what that felt like when, and go for that. Like, be courageous and go for that so you have happiness on a regular basis.
And that was something I was speaking to someone about literally like last week, and I was saying to them, like, I really need to find things to do more for myself that makes me more happy, not like doing what everyone makes everyone else happy, like everyone going to the shisha and doing all of that. I said, no, I'm probably going to go do roller skating and all of these type of different things. Those things will make me feel happy and enjoy it, not just doing the standard things that everyone chooses to really want to do. I want to do different things, even go bingo and you know what I mean, like just let me have my, what I would enjoy.
And you have to, because as somebody that your sun is in Cancer, like that's your sun sign is Cancer. So for you, it's about home life, security, and just feeling calm and having a safe space to just be who you are, not what the world perceives you to be. And so that's the message, that you're on the right path, but you have to forgive yourself and let yourself walk that path with confidence.
Thank you. That's why I asked that question, because I just wanted to kind of within myself know.
And have that clarifier.
Yeah, this always clarifies everything for me. But there's one that always comes up for me as well. I think it was the Emperor.
Yeah, the Emperor.
Yeah, every time, most times when you've done it, I don't know, that card kind of comes up quite often for me.
It might be, I think that, I'm going to check your birth chart because I think I've got it saved. But the Emperor, because the Emperor represents Aries, but the Emperor also represents the divine masculine energy within us, and also represents father figures. So it might also allude to the idea of like, you're trying to be a father that you didn't have, right? And that's hard. Trying to be a man that you didn't see, a father that you didn't have, can be so challenging. And I think that that's also the aspect of like forgiving yourself. You are going to make what you perceive to be mistakes along the way, but if what you're doing is unburdening your heart and trying to live right, you will figure out what the best thing is to do as you go, because that is what's directing the way. It's the intention of the soul, of the heart, that's directing the way. And when that's leading, you'll always figure it out. But if you're being led from a place of fear or a place of lack, that, well, nobody showed up for me and I had to go through all of these things and I spent all these years in prison and blah, blah, blah. So then if that's the energy you're putting out, that's absolutely the energy that you're going to get back.
100%.
And also that there might be things that you're beating yourself up for in not being the father that you would have wanted to be in the earlier years, but this is your time. Over time you make up for that and you rebuild things, but you have to give yourself time to figure that out.
Thank you very much.
So
Makes
let's
a lot of
see. I'm just checking what your birth chart is on here because I've got it saved. You're a Libra rising, Pisces moon. Interesting. I'm trying to see what you've got in Aries because why we keep seeing that card, Aries.
Yeah, I've seen this card a few
Oh,
times.
Aries is your 7th house. So you just like fiery women.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why we're seeing it as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the tarot. I'm glad it resonated.
No, it definitely did. Thank
And
you.
so for those who are listening, what I've done now is if you go on my website, there's a very, very cute picture of me taken by Sèverine. And Sèverine did your headshots as well, innit?
Oh yeah, she did mine. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
she's so wonderful.
Beautiful.
So she's done my recent photos for me so I can revamp the website and for my new show that will be starting on the website in February. But also, I've now added to the website gift cards. So if you want to get somebody a gift card for a tarot reading in the new year, then buy it ASAP. So it'll be valid. I think I've put there it's valid for 90 days. But basically what you do when you buy the gift card, go and check the picture out of me. I'm holding tarot cards. I look super cute. KelechiOkafor.com/shop. And you'll see it there under like tarot readings. Or you can get the 1 question tarot readings that I send you via email. Those are £22, or an express reading that I send within 24 hours, and that's £66. But the gift cards are £111, and it entitles you to 45-minute Zoom reading with me. So you can buy it for somebody, and then that person emails my PA at KelechiOkafor.com, and we sort out a mutually convenient time for me to do your reading for you, so you don't have to wait for a slot to open up in my calendar, because it's just highly unrealistic at this point. You buy the gift card and she will fit you in. Remember, don't buy the gift card for people who are like, oh my god, tarot's devilish, because I will cast. I will cast. You can buy it for yourself, you can buy it for somebody, but as soon as you've bought it, email my PA with your code as well as some the availability that you have, and she'll do her best to book you in ASAP, and so we can have conversations about whatever you want to chat about. Remember to send me your birth chart if you know your birth time and birth location. Send me your birth chart on astro-charts.com. And what else? And then send me your question through what you would like to focus on in the session, or if you prefer, we could just chat about it once we're in the session. That's cool too. So yeah, that's the tarot. So I'll just use this opportunity to big up this week's show sponsor. They're the final show sponsor since the show is ending. They're the final show sponsor, and that is Dipsy, because we're leaving. So thank you, Dipsy, for sponsoring this episode, the final sponsor in this long journey that has been Say Your Mind. Dipsy, if you didn't know, is an app full of hundreds of short, sexy audio stories designed by women for women. They bring scenarios to life with immersive soundscapes and realistic characters. It's radically inclusive. So Dipsy has stories for straight and queer listeners, and 56% of the stories are voice acted by people of color. There's new content released every week. So in between listening to your favorite stories again and again, you can always find something new to explore. And they also have soothing sleep stories, wellness sessions, as well as sexy written stories if you prefer to read. So let Dipsy be your go-to place to spice up your me time, explore your fantasies, relax and unwind, or even heat things up with a partner, whatever you decide to do. So for the listeners of this show, for the last time, Dipsy is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/straws. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to dipseastories.com/straws. dipsystories.com/straws. So go and get your sexy on. That's that. So I will just jump to Share Your Magnificence. I wanted to big up Benjamin Zephaniah, who has now passed away. He's gone to be with the ancestors. Rest in peace. And on the conversation that we were having about like outgrowing things, I remember a little while ago on the podcast, I think I spoke about an article that's was titled, and because I think it needs to be talked about, and I'm putting trigger warning here of domestic violence. But it says here, Benjamin Zephaniah admits to hitting a former girlfriend. Acclaimed author and poet Benjamin Zephaniah has admitted that he hit a former girlfriend. Speaking on BBC Radio 5 Live, Zephaniah, who is one of Britain's best-known poets, confessed that in the past he had been violent to a partner. The way I treated some of my girlfriends was terrible. At one point I was violent. I was never like one of these persons who have a girlfriend who'd constantly beat them, but I could lose my temper sometimes, he told presenter Neil Arthur Nayake. There was one girlfriend that I had, and I actually hit her a couple of times, and as I got older I really regretted it. It burned my conscience so badly. It really ate at me, and I'm a meditator. It got in the way of my meditation. The child of a violent home, he has spoken publicly about how his father beat his mother and wrote a BBC radio play about it called Listen to Your Parents. Zephaniah said he moved away from violence himself as he became involved in politics and in protests against South African apartheid in the 80s and early 90s. I remember I was on a march and I was saying freedom, international freedom. And I thought, I just left my girlfriend at home and told her not to leave the house. I'm a hypocrite. I'm an oppressor and a hypocrite. And at that moment, I just stopped, he recorded. I said, right, I'm going to think for myself. I'm going to stop following the crowd, because that's what all my male friends were doing. We wouldn't say we had a girlfriend. We would go up to each other and say, hey man, you controlling a woman? I just went, no, that's it. Zephaniah was appearing on the show to promote his autobiography, The Life and Rhymes of Benjamin Zephaniah, which is released this week. But this was out in 2018. But I felt like I should read that because there is that moment, isn't there? I feel like, well, you hope that there's that moment for men where it's just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is actually wild behavior, and I'm not the person I claim to be to people outside is not how I'm showing up in my relationship with women or in my romantic relationship. I'm not showing up how I should.
Like a double life type of thing. Like, you present yourself outside one way, then in the house you're behaving a totally different way. It's a bit It was sad, but then I went on his website,
and they said he passed away from a brain tumor. I think that they said it was only discovered a few weeks ago, and I think that's another thing as well. Right, we take life for granted. We think that we can just have bad manners and bad behavior or chaotic behavior, because we've got all of this time to one day fix it. And it's just like, no, like, use the moment that you have, that you definitely know that you have, which is now, to sort out your bullshit.
But like he said, it took him to realize, and some people just don't realize, and by the time you are realizing, it could be a bit too late. So it's always trying to figure it out, and sometimes you just always need that help and encouragement to like understand what you're doing. But some people never speak up, you never know what someone is necessarily doing, so it's hard to help. So it's kind of hard sometimes, like, figuring these things out, knowing when to like reflect and knowing now this time for a change, because it's all within someone. So it's very difficult, but he did find it, and that's why I'm like, no, you can go well, my G. You can go well because you learned what you needed to learn, and you did what you needed to do, and more importantly, you left a blueprint for other people who are still struggling to figure out what they need to figure out. On his website, it says here, Zephaniah speaks. It says, when is a man not a man? Once upon a time, I was a bad boy. I didn't go to school when I should have. I was a burglar, a car thief, a middleman, a womanizer, and a woman beater. I was many things, but I've repented now, reformed, as they say. I've learned how to channel my energy into more positive areas, but every now and then my past does come back to me in the most strangest of ways. For example, not very long ago, I was dining with an ex-girlfriend of mine. Most of the conversation was about the bad old days when I was big in Handsworth, that's a place in Birmingham, and all those police would spend so much looking for me. After a while, we got onto the subject of our past relationship, and in particular, one day when I lost my temper and became very violent, I began to get down on my knees and beg forgiveness, proclaiming that I would never do that kind of thing now. When she said, "That's why I would not want you now. Now you are a wimp, not a man."
I touched my penis and my breast to make sure my male parts were still male. Like when she went on to accuse me of spending too much time with leftist men and overeducated black women. In the real world, men are men and women are women, and it's a man's job to keep things in order. It's even in the Bible, she said. Can you see? You God girlies, can you see? Can you see what your friend is saying? Because she's mad like you. Can you see? Anyway, to be extremely honest, I've been called a wimp more times than I've ever been called a nigger. I am infertile. I won't eat meat. I cry when I see animals suffer. I do yoga, kiss flowers, and I prefer a day on the Welsh mountains to any inner city day. I've been called a wimp for all these things and more. What really hurts is when I'm accused of losing touch with my roots, not my African roots. They mean losing touch with the lifestyle I had before when I was a man. These are roots I don't want to go back to. Here, the opposite of a wimp was a man, and a man had many children. Man ate meat. Man don't cry for anything. Man do boxing, football. Man drive BMW. Man don't take no shit from any woman or man kills man. Yes, man, that's life, man. It's a man's world, and man must be man enough to deal with it. Man. As a writer, I think it's very important to stay in touch with what is happening on the streets. And as one of the first generations of Rastafarians in Britain, we were forced to spend most of our time on the streets. I know few people who are qualified to tell me anything about the jungle out there. Many of us have survived the jungle and are now proud wimps. We wimps are into rap music, but we refuse to call women hoes, whores, bitches, tings, and G's. We are into reggae, but we are not out to kill the batty boys, gay men, because someone tells us with the help of a multinational record company. Actually, some of my best friends are Rastafarian heterosexual wimps who have been known to tune into Radio 4. I believe that despite all the machismo that spewed out of me in my other life, I was a true wimp. I did very little independent thinking, and most of my behavior was geared towards being part of the gang. On at least 2 occasions, I almost lost my life as I endeavored to look good in front of my friends. I'm definitely not a model citizen. I still think it's healthy to break the law at least once a day, even if it's just a little token gesture, something to add drama to the day. I love that. And I'm not trying to give the impression that I'm some kind of non-sexist new man type of guy. I'm simply saying that one word can mean different things to different people. No one's perfect, as they say, but I think that I'm a better man now. My ex-girlfriend believes I stopped being a man when I lost the need to control her, and that the physical abuse she received was not abuse, but her man keeping things in order. I say there are human beings and human non-beings. A male can be either one. Human beings have to try to understand themselves and others. They should have compassion and seek truth with independent thought. The so-called men are now in crisis. They have just realized that many of them are dying of prostate and testicular cancer. Especially you older men, pay attention to that rather than doing other things. Don't talk about these things. And hundreds of men are committing suicide because they cannot take the responsibility of being a man. Physically and spiritually, the man is dying of ignorance. Listen, man, I don't want to be a man if it means that I must act all my life and not get paid. I just want to be a male wimp with children, because once upon a time I was a man and it was a heavy man.
Yeah. I relate to that.
He said bits.
Yeah, I can relate to some of the stuff he was saying, definitely. Jesus Christ.
What hits you about it?
Just like what it takes, what it says that what a man is.
Yeah.
And not necessarily you want to be that man, but how everyone is around you, that's the sort of man you need to be, and to be accepted as a man. If you're none of those things, people might not accept you as a man. So do you have to live like that to get acceptance, or can you not be yourself and still be a man?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying, that all this time I've been living my life to please other people. This is what they say a man needs to be, or a gangster, or a this. These are the types of things you need to be. This is the rules. This is how you should be. And if you're anything out of that, you're not that. And it's just like, yeah, you can't keep on living like that when that's not naturally you. You want to be this peaceful person. Like he said, he wanted to go and do these type of things, but it's wimpy to some people. And I can just say, yeah, that's the same thing with me. Like, I couldn't voice up that I wanted to do certain things. Even if certain people realize a certain music I listen to, they'll be very shocked. They'll be like, Papa, is this the sort of music you're listening to? Yeah. Even one time I was with my friends, and then my Spotify came on, then one of my weird songs came on. I was like, oh, How did this happen? What's going
on? Who's
oh, just randomly. I just quickly just change it because amongst those people, this is not what you should be listening to.
But the last song I listened to made me get a gun on my waist. So.
Exactly. So I can't keep living like this. Let me just listen to my Florence and the Machine or whatever. I'm happy with that. Please. Or my Jess Glynn. I don't want,
let me just live my
life, man. God. So I understand him, honestly. But yeah.
No, rest in peace.
Hard, yeah, rest in peace,
he did bits, and how we learnt poetry when we were in secondary school, them anthologies, my guy, like Benjamin, thank you so much. Thank you for your anti-monarchy stance. Like, you really set pace. I know I have to give up meat. Thank you for pointing that out from being in the other realm, reminding me again. But I really rate it. I really rate when a man can have so much self-awareness and be like, yeah, these are the things that I needed to change. And I love that he also said that I'm not out here being that, oh, now I'm this anti-sexist kind of guy. Because I feel like some people, they do a little bit of work on themselves and they start gallivanting like, oh, there's no more work to do. I'm the perfect man. No. And I know things. And it's like, no, you're still hurting women. You're still hurting people and yourself.
Got a long way to go.
Yeah, in the day-to-day. So if you think you're done, you're nowhere near the beginning. But for him to be like, no, there is still work to do, that's honest to me. And so I just really, really rate it, and I'm glad that he showed up in our lives in the way that he did. So go well, King. Thank you. In the ancestral realm, Benjamin Zephaniah, thank you for leading. And I hope that other people choose to not follow you into the ancestral realm, but just follow your example is what I mean. So that's that for Share Your Magnificence. Pardon me. So let's go to So You Mad. So this week I read that Nelly and Ashanti, not only are they back together, but they're expecting a baby.
Baby, yeah. So how old is she? Sorry if you mind me asking.
42.
Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
Never. But what I think is interesting is how people position it, because when I was doing when I was reading some things, it was just like, you can actually have children, into your 40s, no problem, but they'll be telling you about all of these medical conditions, and obviously it's good to pay attention to what you're being told and stuff. But yeah, it was just really interesting to me that all these years they did all of this back and forth. If I was one of their partners, I would be really vexed. I'd be like, I said you were going to get back together.
And then
I said it.
Confirming that you're not.
You lied to my face. And here you are together again.
How long ago were they together before this? Like
when I was in secondary school. Remember? All of
yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. That's a very long time.
That was 2000 and that was like 2005, 2006.
Oh wow! And they got back this year?
Yeah. Imagine waiting for a person that long, especially a woman. You waited for a man that long. I don't even think she waited.
Was she waiting for him or
no? Maybe he was waiting for her. Maybe he did. I
don't know.
It's interesting. To me.
I don't know because. At one point when they got back together, I even realized I forgot that they was even together at one point. It's been so long. Yeah. So when they started saying, "Oh, Nelly and Thing are back together," I was thinking, when? Because
it was like they saw each other at an award show, right? And they hadn't seen each other in a while.
I didn't even know how it come about. All I know, I thought he was with Floyd's ex.
What, Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah. Nelly was with Floyd ex.
They all it's very incestuous. They all just kind of go around with each other.
So that's what I thought. Then he put out a statement saying that he hadn't been with her for 2-3 years now or something like that. Then I was thinking, oh wow. Then the next thing I heard, he was back with.
They're a very good-looking couple,
and he does look happy from what social media are saying.
He's grinning. Look at that
every
picture.
minute, like he's grinning. He's happy. They showed pictures with him, with her, and how he was with the ex. And
oh no,
social Twitter.
But people, they can really find pictures to justify anything.
100%.
But what got my attention was this bitch, a guy that wrote, "She's lucky that Nelly took her back. Wow. She's 43. She hit the wall. She's in the high-risk pregnancy zone. Consider herself lucky." And this is why I don't want to be on social media anymore, because I'm like, that is what you took from this news. That is what you took from this news.
No, but for me, I did think, okay, like, I'm not going to lie. I just think 40 and you're pregnant. I did think that, I'm not gonna lie, but I just thought
like he's almost making it out like you're lucky he took you because he could
get
have gone and got a younger girl.
person.
But not everybody's trying to get younger women like.
And he's kind of old himself. He's kind of done out here himself.
But she's not done out here.
No, but I'm saying that she's done out here. But if you want to make it out like he's done,
well, she's done. Then he's
done as well. Do you know what I mean? They're both in the same sort of.
But I think it's because men are encouraged to think that at any age, looking however they look, they can always get a younger woman. They will be always, just by the virtue of being male, that they can always get a younger woman. And women aren't presented, but they're not. Women aren't presented the same way. They're like, oh, you're getting past it. You're getting older now.
Yeah, you need to.
You're gonna die alone. Based on what's out there, I think that sounds great.
Dying alone. Then to come with some crazy person.
And people just dilly dallying. But it's cute.
No, definitely. I'm happy for them. Happy for Nelly. I like seeing men happy with women. I'm like, I can only talk for a man.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, I feel like some men are just in relationships for, what's the best word to say? I don't know, comfortability. They're just comfortable with the woman. They're not necessarily happy. They're just comfortable. Like, the woman listens, she does whatever she wants to or whatever. I don't know, but a lot of guys ain't happy. When I see that a guy's actually happy, he's cherishing his girl, she's doing the same, like, they're happy. I always think that, that's nice. Not that this looks like it's just a one-sided thing.
Yeah, that's like, the worst thing to see. I love when people are in relationships and they're overjoyed with each other. Like, you can see like they like this is they're having the best time. Like they're almost like children together. Like, they're so childlike because they're just so joyful. Like, you can see the friendship, you can see all of that, the passion. You can see that they genuinely, like, this is like my chargy, like, this is my person.
Not that a man's just with a woman because she looks good. That is more like a status.
Or she's got money. Her family's got money.
Or she's got the BBL.
And you're just there looking. Or she's really aesthetically, pretty. She's conventionally pretty. So it's like, we're together because other people will be like, look at who I've got.
Just what you represent, but not actually.
There's no heart, there's no soul. In it,
nothing going on for you guys.
To prove something to your ego, like, oh, look who I managed to draw.
Exactly.
And then you'll die lonely. So then, even if you don't die alone, you'll die lonely. And actually, literally, you will, because unless it's a mass.
You're going to be there by yourself.
You are still dying alone.
Honestly.
But then at the same time, I was reading that, and people were bringing up that he does have allegations against him.
Who, Nelly?
Yeah.
Okay.
About sexual assault and stuff that happened in the UK, actually, when he was on tour. And so it's just like, guys, can you get your fucking lives together? And his lawyer is saying, oh, no, this is just somebody looking for a payday. They were just looking to get money, rah, 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 rah. But it's just like, well, it's a number of people that said the same thing. But, if that's where she wants to be, boy. It says here, Ashanti is pregnant with her first child after rekindling her romance with Nelly. Nelly and Ashanti are welcoming their first baby together, a source exclusively told us. The baby will be Ashanti's only child, while Nelly, 49, shares daughter Chanel, 29, and son Cornell Haynes III, 24, with ex Shanita Valentine, 49. But that makes sense. And then his daughter's 29, so he had her when he was 20, and then this other. Yeah, like, he's got big grown children. Ashanti, and he's having a child at 49.
I didn't even know he was that age.
Because he looks young.
Yeah, he does definitely look young.
I feel like at the age I'm at now, I can't really see who's 40 something and who's 50 something. Everyone kind of just looks the same.
Sometimes you can even think someone looks a bit older and they're a bit younger. It's just like,
I thought you're going the other way.
No, but sometimes, sorry, I have to, because I've been mistaken. I thought someone was quite older and they're quite young. I was like, oh, sorry.
Bad. Life is really.
But you're right. Some people, it's hard to now say this person's 40.
And so you can only kind of go on like behavior and experience, but then that's not necessarily down to age.
Exactly, as well.
A fool at 40 will still be a fool at 50. Ashanti, 43, first sparked pregnancy speculation over the weekend when she attended Nelly's Black and White Ball in St. Louis. Was it St. Louis? With her partner, During the event, the Only You singer put her hand on her stomach while on stage with Nelly, and he did the same. According to a fan video shared by TMZ, the couple broke into laughter after seemingly hinting that they're expanding their family. Ashanti and Nelly dated on and off from 2003 to 2013. 10 years? See, now I'll be vexed if I was Shanetta, because you've had 2 children with him over a span of however many years, and then he's gone back. So this person, Ashanti's never left your relationship. Ashanti's been right there in your relationship.
She's been
with
the
you
third
whole
person.
time.
Yeah.
Ah!
That goes on with a lot of things, though. People haven't let certain people go and still bringing them into the.
That is a word. That is a word. That is a word. And I think that that's what I strive to kind of, going forward, I will strive to steer clear of, because if there is a whole thing of like, yeah, I love this person, but we've never been together, go and do what you need to do. Go and do what you need to do, because that means that you'll still be holding out for this person.
100%.
One.
Please go.
Or 2, there's somebody I've been talking to for a while, but I don't really know what's happening with that. Go and be with that person. Go and
find out what's happening.
Go and find out what's happening. Don't be wayward. Go and find out what's happening. Don't waste other people's time with your nonsense indecision.
Yeah.
Oh no, it just takes time to sort these things out.
They got to sort it out before you come round here.
And that's what I don't get. Like, why would you pursue people or a person knowing that there's somebody that clearly is so important that means that you have to give a disclaimer when you're moving to new people?
It's like bringing someone into your own madness that didn't sign up for that. They just signed up to speak to you. Now you're bringing them into a whole complete madness and a triangle that they didn't even know that it was even involved in.
I just find it so odd. And then, but I did mention her.
You mentioned you had an ex, like everybody does, or whatever. But some people don't mention how the details of what they're going through.
That's what I think it is. You could say, if you say, I'm talking to somebody, I've been talking to them for a while, but it's like you're saying, I'm gonna sort that, I'm gonna deal with that at some point. So somebody might be like, all right, well, we can see where this is going while you're sorting that. But if actually there's more information there, that you're tied into contracts, you're tied into this, you're tied into that, that's not what you said.
And that's what we need to know.
But people, I just feel like, no, I feel it for Shanetta, because Ashanti was there and she didn't go anywhere.
Nope.
It says, they dated on and off from 2003 to 2013 after meeting during a Grammy Awards press conference. In April, the duo sparked reconciliation rumors when they were seen holding hands at a boxing match in Las Vegas. Now, and her body has been set good. Like, one thing, Ashanti never took the pressure off. You know, like sometimes you can see somebody's love interest and be like, that was way back then. She's doing like, she's not a threat now. Ashanti kept the pressure applied.
100% looked
pim the whole time.
She wasn't fluctuating. She just stayed.
You could ever turn around and be like, she fell off. No. She kept the pressure on.
She definitely did.
Because I'm looking at this cat suit that she's wearing and I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like that is a madness that at 43, this is the body that you're giving us and you're giving it to us with confidence. 100%. And I love that. It's beautiful.
Look how he's smiling in that one as well.
Of course, why would he be smiling? He's smiling everywhere. He got his actual boo, the love of his life.
Back.
Imagine that you're with someone for ages and then they get with the person that you can tell that they've always wanted to be with and they're just grinning in a way. Like you're seeing more teeth in their mouth than you've ever seen before.
I didn't even know you had that much teeth. Jesus.
Nelly confirmed the relationship in September in a clip from Philo TV's Boss Moves with Rashida, saying, we cool again. Typical man. What do you mean that, we cool again?
To play it down a little bit.
He revealed that the rekindled romance surprised both of us, though. It wasn't anything that was planned. What?
It might not have been. They might have just started speaking again, and it just, you know what I mean? They just got lost in their conversation.
True. It says here, that same month, a source exclusively told us that Ashanti didn't expect to get back together with Nelly after 10 years apart. A few years ago, Ashanti never would have imagined reconciling with Nelly, but they're enjoying spending time together. The insider said at the time they don't want to rush anything. Well, now they're having a baby. So
It looks like they're rushing.
Right. In October, the twosome went Instagram official as Nelly toasted his love's birthday. One time for the birthday girl, he captioned a slideshow of photos showing himself and Ashanti smiling. Such a beautiful and incredible person inside and out, and one of the hardest working women I know. Enjoy your day, Ma. You look awesome. Happy birthday. Love ya. Last year, Ashanti returned the favour by gifting Nelly a car for his birthday.
I saw that.
Ha!
I saw that. He was over the moon, boy.
She had been planning this surprise for months, and it was such a hard secret to keep, but seeing his reaction made it all worthwhile. Nelly, for his part, was in awe over the lavish gesture. He was in total shock and overcome with emotion when he saw it. This gift meant the world to him because it had a much more sentimental reason behind it. This was Nelly's dream car since he was a kid, and he couldn't believe Ashanti gave it to him. Such a thoughtful gift. It was one of the best presents he's ever received. I feel like Ashanti and I are one. One thing I know how to do is gift.
Gifts, yeah.
Like, she applied the pressure and then she got him. She's like, I know you inside and out.
I'm gonna
this
show
is
you.
what you want. This is what you want. Nobody can cross it. This is I got you. I got you here.
And I'm sure he's told all the women about his cars.
Do you know when you hear that, you crumble inside? As the woman who didn't get him the car, you'll crumble inside because Ashanti's let you know that everybody back the fuck up.
Trust me.
I've arrived again.
and
And
I'm
you
head
can all go home.
Bye bye. Who was she with previously though?
Funnily enough, they don't even
I'll
say,
mention it, yeah.
which is interesting. But I think that's like you say, maybe it was that thing of like, no, it is definitely done. It's done. Because 10 years apart,
Yeah,
done.
you're not thinking.
But then,
Just
retrograde brings it all back. But I love it for them. Like, if you like it, I bloody love it. Like, do you?
Definitely happy for them.
Yeah. But those allegations, Nelly sorts it out. Like, that's wild.
I haven't even seen much of them, but yeah, if he's got them, he needs to get that sorted out.
Yeah, it's wild.
Because even more P Diddy stuff is coming out.
I'm glad you said it because that's who I was going to talk about next. Like P Diddy's now 50 Cent says that 50 Cent's production company will be releasing a documentary about Sean Diddy Combs and the numerous sexual assault allegations against him. All proceeds will go to victims of sexual assault and rape, 50 Cent announces. But what's funny is that 50 hates Diddy. Like this feels like such a personal thing, but 50's also got allegations on him as well.
Has he?
Yeah. So it's like, how are you trying to open somebody else's yash and your own yash is smelling?
I'm smelling, dude. I feel like how many people's 50 got a legend on him now?
I don't know. But I'll check. It says 50's production company will be releasing a documentary about Sean Diddy Combs and the sexual assault allegations pointed against him. After the news of a fourth allegation of sexual assault against Combs was revealed, 50 Cent announced via X, formerly Twitter, on Thursday that proceeds from his upcoming documentary about Combs will go to victims of sexual violence. G-Unit Film and Television will be producing the untitled film. Proceeds from this documentary will go to victims of sexual assault and rape, 50 wrote on X, along with a clip of the documentary.
50 Cent's a troll though, man.
Yeah, in the footage, former Bad Boy Records rapper Mark Curry described the dangerous party scenes allegedly encouraged by Combs and his entourage, specifically recalling how the Combs would spike bottles of champagne at his parties for women to drink from. Curry said the women were not aware they were being drugged and became real slippery. Wow. The representative for 50 Cent and G-Unit Film and TV confirmed the documentary was in development with the following statement. The untitled Diddy documentary is in development through G-Unit Film and Television with Curtis 50 Cent Jackson serving as executive producer. A representative for Combs did not respond to Variety's request for comment. However, Combs did address the allegations on December 6th in a social media post shared to his Instagram. Enough is enough.
The Nelly.
For the last...
Kelly.
Yeah. Because it really is like, what do you mean? Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name and my family and for the truth. Several women have come forward claiming they were sexually assaulted by Coombs following the lawsuit filed last month by Cassandra Ventura, the R&B singer known as Cassie, who accused Coombs of raping her and beating her for over a decade. You paid $30 million to Cassie within 24 hours.
But do you think he paid 30 million?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think he paid?
I feel like it was something they came to an agreement. I feel like he had something on her, because for me, the only reason why I'm saying this, if you've gone to sue someone and you put that out, you want that information and everything that person has done to come out, right?
No, but the thing is,
you just really just want the money. You just want to get your money. No,
she was filing privately. Like, so she's just filing. She's not saying let's take it to the press. The thing about it is that when you file, people will pick up the names. Yeah. And then they're doing. You
can't file privately.
Exactly.
It's all in the
exactly.
Court,
so it's all in the public domain. So it wasn't her saying, "Oh yeah, now let me chat my business." It's the fact that she's filed and then people have picked up on it, and then now you have to comment because people have picked up on your thing.
But then she settled literally within this.
Because it's a civil case, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why I feel like they've brought something on her and said, look, we can make it a big deal because we've got this on you.
No,
you've got this on me. Let's come to a nice agreement. 30 is too much.
No, he paid 30. They said
he paid 30.
He paid 30.
Oh, okay, because usually what they pay is always
they said boom that he paid 30 million he paid that exactly, and he paid within 24 hours. So he knew, and I think the reason he paid within 24 hours is I think it's the opposite of what you say. She had even more on him, and like if that had gone to court, it would have been even worse.
Yeah, makes more sense.
If it had gone to trial, it would have been even worse. So it was best for him in that moment to just finish it there.
But it's the way he came out after that. He put up a snap saying, "I'm still standing," and I'm thinking, well, yeah,
but that's to me.
That gave me a little feeling like
that's a typical abuser.
Yeah.
Because what do you mean you're still standing? Your bank balance isn't.
I told you you're 30 million down.
Your bank balance is now.
But he came out saying, "I'm still standing." I remember you've never liked this guy from young. I remember you calling him.
No.
Sorry, quick, thank God you shut me down.
I literally knew where you were going. I was like, cut the tape.
I remember.
Cut the tape.
And I remember why now.
Right?
Why you? Because
cut the tape.
Thank God for that. But yeah, you've never liked him.
I've never.
And it's made
such
sense.
A despicable human being. Just nasty guy. There was just something always so dodgy about him. And it's not even like it wasn't clear to see the way that he treated Kim, his first wife. He was horrible to her, and now she's passed on. And I feel like it's Kim.
The one that had the twins for
I feel like she's dealing with him from beyond the grave. Yes. And I feel like 2024 is going to be worse for him. I think so many things are coming out now about, these sexual assault allegations, because 2024 onwards, people are going to get their justice. They have to get their justice. There are practical reasons, because I think after a particular date, you can't bring up anything that happened more than a year ago in New York, for instance. So there are people who are now trying to get, because they're realizing that if I don't say anything now,
there's a time, there's a time period now.
So I think that's also part of it, but also on an energetic level, people have to be held accountable for the things that they've done.
100%.
So yeah, it was interesting to read that, and I feel no sympathy for him. I quote tweeted it, and I was like, it's mad, because paying 30 million for something you didn't do is very somehow.
Yeah.
If I didn't do something, there's no way you're getting 30 million out of me. It's not happening.
That's why I felt like there was something between them, because I never knew he actually paid 30 million. He just said that they've settled their whatever.
Yeah,
so I felt like between both of them, they've had some sort of...
Yeah, no, she was just there. Like, when you think about the age that he was talking to her from as well, like, he really took advantage of her. So...
And there's another one with a 17-year-old girl in his studio now.
What?
There's pictures, she said that she was 17. And I think there's a picture of her sitting on his lap. Don't quote me. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But I think there's a picture of a 17-year-old in his studio. She's taking pictures by the bad boy sign and everything. And she said, she was 17 at that age when she was... doing whatever with P. Diddy, and I think Jesus Christ.
And I think that it's not just in the music industry or the film industry. I just think it's a culture that we have where men aren't necessarily held accountable for this. Oh, I just like younger women, or I just like younger girls. How much younger are you going? You lot are going for 17 years younger, 19 years younger. I feel like after you pass 30, you can date who you want to date, as far as I'm concerned, age-wise. But it's the fact that I don't think you started when these women were 30. Like, it's just weird. It's weird, that whole age gap. And then lastly, going from another sexual abuser to another, it's just a day of them. Russell Simmons claims that his ex-wife, Kimora Lee Simmons, stole $800 million from him.
From the shares.
From stocks. And I'm just like, okay,
watch this.
why don't you take that to the police station?
Yeah.
Has he come back to America yet? Come back.
He's in Bali.
He's still in Bali, yeah? Come back and come and tell the American police what happened. But you know that you can't come back. Why?
No, but did he not say that it's been investigated, that they are doing things like he's trying to get back his half of the shares, because half
I'm
of
not
it
even
is
thinking
his.
about the shares. I'm thinking about the fact that he sexually abused so many women. That's why he left and went
Oh,
to
is
stay
that-
in Bali. That's why he's in Bali.
is that why
Because
he's
they
in-
can't extradite him from Bali.
I never knew that it was even. That's the whole. See, I
and
don't
so
keep
that's
up with
why
these
it's
people.
mad that then Jay-Z and all of the, on Tidal, they were doing they were having a virtual kind of conference with him about his history in the music, in the music industry, all of that stuff, and everybody was acting like this is perfectly okay that he sat in Bali, whatever the case may be, not addressing why he's in Bali. And also Bali, all of these places are where these people go so they can go and do these things to younger girls. Like, think of all the places he chose. He chose, like, look at what Kimora looks like. You've gone to a place like Bali where there are other versions of Kimora and what she looks like, but younger, with no rights. And then nobody can hold you accountable with all the money that you have to do what you want to do out there. And then you're complaining about Kimora. I want her to take everything.
She should have took more.
Yes, take everything.
Oh, wow.
bitch.
I didn't even know that's what he was hiding there for.
Yeah, that's why he's not come back, because they can't extradite him from Bali.
And so there's women in
The US
that are waiting to deal with him. Okay, wow. I never knew that.
They're waiting, but he's like, no, I'm gonna stay out here.
So why is everyone just like acting like none of this
Because
stuff
that is the
going?
complicity of the music industry and the sexist nature of the music industry and these men, and just generally speaking, you know that your man or your boy likes to beat his girl, or you know that your man or your boy rather, like, when you lot go out, he acts a particular way with girls that you know is wrong, but nobody's going, bro, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
And then these things build and build and build, and that's exactly what it is in the industry. And I think that a lot of people are shook to speak out because they know that in one way or another they were complicit. You booked the hotel, you booked the car to bring the girl to the place, you did this or you did that.
You probably scouted the girl.
Exactly. So sat now,
yeah.
he told you to go and pick up something from somebody that he's going to put in the drinks. Like, there are so many people who are complicit that they're shook.
And
Especially the security teams, because you lot would have been guarding doors, this, that, knowing who was coming in and out.
And it was so weird because one time Rick Ross said, I put Molly up in her champagne, she didn't even know it.
See?
And we were so
And
singing.
everyone,
it's only years later, everyone's like, wait,
What?
you know what I mean? You
Right?
said that you was spiking. He got dropped after that. After like a year after of saying that is when they realized. You know
because
what I mean?
people had to kick up the fuss.
Yeah.
These feminists,
But this
that
was
people
like
claim
a
to hate so
cultural
much.
thing to be doing, spiking girls' drinks and
nothing. And I feel like
Yeah.
it happened to me when I was in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
I was
when you was working.
when I was in Atlanta, in like 2008. And I remember Shorty Low, because that was I was working for Shorty Low's like management company, or his booking agent, and he just won a BET. And so I went to my boss's house, like this really nice big house, Johnny Cabell. I went to his house and they were throwing a party. And I remember having a drink, and one drink, and everything became so woozy. I was lucky that my friend Krista, we're still friends till today. She was from LA and she'd moved to Atlanta. Krista was there and Krista dropped me home.
Oh,
but I remember I was left in the bathtub. So do you remember Ken?
Ken.
My ex, the tall Igbo guy.
Yeah, the bald-headed one.
Yeah.
I think one time you made fish and he decided to eat the fish and you came back. I don't know why I remember that specific story, but yeah, I remember that guy.
Oh, yeah. So Ken, because we went to Atlanta, so I was in a bathtub and he was there, and it was so funny. I was in a bathtub, like, clearly I've been spiked, drugs. He was taking my phone, trying to look through it to see if I'd gotten text messages from anybody and who I was talking to while I was there, like, out of it from whatever had been put in my drink. Like, honestly, yuck. Anyway, it says here, inside Russell Simmons' scandalous marriage with Kimora Lee, who he met when she was just 17 and he was 35.
Oh,
before romance blew up amid claims of prolific infidelity, abuse and harassment and toxic split that rocked the relationship with his daughters. They're digging up his past. Why they're dredging up his past because he's denying allegations of sexual assault made by multiple women back in 2017. The mogul, now 66, became a major figure in the music industry after he co-founded the record label in 1984, and he rose to the top. He quickly became known for being an ardent womanizer. And that's the thing. I think that you'll only get so many chances in your life where people tell you that, hey, bro, what you're doing is wrong. Fix your life. Whatever you fail to do in private because you're saying, I'm not going to learn this lesson, there's no lesson for me to learn, one day that lesson will catch up with you, but it will catch up with you publicly, and then there'll be nowhere for you to go. And you'll be getting
flogged outside.
Yes. Because there's this other guy, we just talked about 2 Birmingham dons, but there's this one other guy, I think he's from Birmingham or wherever he's from, this black guy who years ago, he's a little bit younger than I am, he reached out to me that he wanted to meet up for coffee and to learn more about my work and you know, tell me about the work that he was doing. So I met up with him, we had this coffee, we were chatting, but he was coming on a bit slimy, a bit sleazy, but I thought nothing of it. He would continue like messaging me thereafter, but as I started to rise and my profile started to grow even more, I just spoke to him less and less, not realizing that he was then chatting to like younger women or chatting to women, I guess his age or even younger, much younger, and almost programming them to be like, oh, you don't know what Kelechi's about, Kelechi's this, Kelechi's that. After one time you met me for coffee, and he was already doing all of these things.
Because he never got that sort of thing.
And so he unfollowed me. He was doing this, he was doing that. Not last week, numerous women come out on the timeline on Twitter saying Chadwick, and we see a video of him getting arrested, being taken by the police. Numerous women coming forward saying that he was abusive to them. He did this, he did that. And I thought to myself, God has never failed me. My God has never, ever failed me, because I move towards people, gravitate towards people with a heart that's just open. Like, I'm so willing to help and heal and assist in any way that I can. And when people take the piss, I always think to myself, in whatever degree that they took the piss, because his one, after that coffee with me being like, "Rah, what you doing?" Him then making a concerted effort to chat shit about me to so many people. So a lot of these young women can't tell you why they don't like me, but when you look, who do they have? Chadwick, right there as their friend, right? So I kept quiet. I didn't say anything. So, and that's another thing. So many things happen in life, especially around the industry and the things that I do. And it happens, and I keep my mouth shut publicly. I might throw little jabs here and there, but generally speaking, I just keep my mouth shut. And I had to watch him trying to sully my name, talk shit about me, and make it out like I'm not about what I say I'm about. Oh, she's not really an activist. She's not really this. She's not really that. And I just let it slide. I didn't say anything. I didn't counter it. Nothing. So when I saw that the whole timeline, different women were coming forward and saying all of this and saying, oh, I should have spoken out sooner. I didn't even write anything. I could have easily written a blow by blow of what he'd done to me, but I just kept quiet. Instead, I retweeted a couple of people because I was like, this is your time. Because he didn't really affect me that deeply, but he really broke so many of you. So here, I will just repost what you're saying. And that's what I feel like in this situation. I'm sure in many regards, those women said to him, what you're doing is not right. It's not cool. And he would try and gaslight them using, again, a lot of these men are learning words to absolve themselves of accountability when they've moved mad in a particular situation.
Or money.
Right, or money.
Yeah, it's money. Sometimes it's just money. Easy to just silence people.
Yeah.
They know they're doing wrong. Oh, just take this and
go.
And some people's lives, they just prefer to have the money and keep quiet and just ignore certain stuff. It's only when they get to a better stage in life where they're not being controlled by money or anything like that, then they'll be like, oh, feel more open to speak up.
Yes.
But if you're under a life where you'll be controlled by money or you're controlled by like what someone can just say to you, then, you know what I mean, there will be never no speaking up. This is why we keep hearing things coming out years after it's happening.
And it's going to come out. And I just think, like, clear out your closet, because 2024, regardless of whether you're a celebrity or otherwise, I think like 2024, we're going to see from then onwards for the next 20 years, a major decline in celebrity culture, because people are going to realize how fucking ridiculous it is to have celebrities in the way that we have them. They don't do anything.
They're not gods.
Right. And they don't want to speak up for nothing when you need them to. So fuck off then. Right. But not only that, other people who have been doing shady shit and not taking accountability, the accountability will be placed on your lap. when you get to that point.
It's only like Michael Jackson that I feel like
Got away.
He's got away. Yeah.
And I don't feel any way I believe what people have said about him.
I believe it to a
Because how can you
certain-
be saying like, oh, believe women, and then these boys, like what excuse is there ever for an older man like that, to a grown man, to be around little boys and then have them sleeping in
your
bed.
bed, and then you're paying off the parents and stuff like that to let them sleep in the bed. He paid off. There was one family of a little child that sued him, and he just quickly paid and got that done with as well. He didn't want no more of that. But yeah, Michael's the only person as well. But they've been starting with people like Michael. They've been trying to get Michael from early.
But then it just shows how
but he was too
deeply-
much of a god
Yes.
to everyone that it just got ignored. And even after his death, they've still come out with stuff and they're saying, well, I don't know. You're like,
and then people dispute it. And
Yeah.
my thing is like the most, like usually the most straightforward, proper like thinking people. When you bring up Michael Jackson, that is where they draw the line. Like they will refuse to see that there is an issue there as well.
100%.
But me, I'll call them all out. R. Kelly, all of them. I don't care what music they gave us. There's an issue there.
yeah, you lot did some sick things.
Yeah, pardon
You know what I
me.
mean?
So
I know some people say they can separate the music from the person or whatever, but it's difficult. You know what I mean?
for me, I
Especially
don't.
what they're being.
what they've been doing, and do I want to separate the music,
Music
from
from
the
yo,
person?
yo.
I was literally talking about it on last week's episode, that there's this course that people go on and they're recommending to other people, and the guy who founded the course, he raped his daughters, and then I'm like, whether you're like, oh, but this course changed my life, regardless of what he was accused of doing in the 90s and the noughties, this course changed my life. It actually didn't. It gave you a faulty foundation, because the person who created it is a despicable human being. So there's nothing that can be built upon that will ever be sturdy. When an upheaval comes in your life, it's going to take everything up and throw everything up in the air, because the
Rape your
foundation,
kids.
right?
Jesus.
It's so who wants to learn a course
From
somebody
someone like that. Yeah, I mean, that's. Oh, please.
So no, it's all mad.
We
But
can understand maybe you've got your help or whatever, but I don't even know what help you.
I don't think he has. He transferred the company to his brother and sister's name, and then I kept it moving. But I if I knew that was what the founder had done, I don't want any parts. I don't want to do that course. I don't want to know.
Of course not.
So that's that. But anyway, so that's for So You Mad. Russell, if you really want this sorted out with Kimura, come back to the UK. Come back to the US. Go to the US. Speak to a police officer. They're already waiting for you. So,
So you know what I mean. You have that ready for you. Then you can bring up whatever else you need to bring up.
There's a room that they want you to go into to have this conversation. Go into that room. Go into
Face
it.
the music, mate.
And then finally, for Straw of the Week, aka Suck Your Mum, I want to say a massive suck your mum to the UK government and the US government for voting against the ceasefire in Palestine. Like, it will never ever be well with you. And also because you see some economic gains for where Netanyahu wants to build this corridor and create the new Middle East, so he can get all, to basically for commerce. You're committing genocide for the sake of commerce, but actually, historically speaking, that has been the reason for all genocide. It's always been about commerce. Therefore, capitalism is poison. It's poison. It's the devil. So that's by the by. But free Palestine. And I said it in my tweets, and I'll say it again. The countries now that are denying that are trying to eradicate Palestine, in about 20 years, you will be the ones spoken about in the past tense. And now slowly things are making sense. Because if some of you remember, when I've been saying in the tarot readings, a lot of us in the UK, we have to think about where we're going after this, because something is about to go down and we need to get out. Those of us who have sense, we need to get out before it's too late, because you can't keep playing the clown and not have somebody at some point squeeze that red nose.
100%.
All right? So just letting you know. And apart from that, I saw a video where a school teacher punched a student. Like, the dad came to the school to be like, let me even see if I can play it. The dad came to the school and confronted, I imagine it was the head teacher.
Is it UK?
UK, yeah.
Okay, no, I haven't seen that.
Let me see if I can bring it up. Confronted them. I think, I've got the volume up on there, so I'll see if I can actually play it.
Before we watched all of this, but growing up, I always wanted one of my parents to come in and kick one of my teachers' asses. I'm sorry. I know it's not, you know what I mean, but I ain't watch what I'm just saying. But growing up, I always said,
Someone should just come in and
Yeah,
like
just
deal
deal
with
with you. My
But
history
because
teacher, especially.
because they just like to move mad.
Yeah, Miss Partridge. I can't forget. Like, why are you like this? You know what I mean? Like, one day I just hope my mum would just come in there and just whack your face, man. Honestly, because it's getting too much.
They get away with murder.
But yeah, sorry, I just had to. But hopefully this is.
This is like wild because how can you punch a student or a pupil several times?
Oh, the teacher punched the student.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Punched the pupil several times and then wasn't suspended.
What?
So
I saw a teacher on the trip, and a white woman, she slapped a black girl in the face on the trip.
Oh, people sent me that.
Yeah.
Here, you might need to use this to hear it because I've already heard it. Okay. So let me see if I can play it. Here you go. It says here, my 10-year-old nephew was punched by his primary school teacher in a playground. Is it playing?
No, I can't hear it.
Hold on, let me turn it up.
And I'm sure you are aware of it.
The police are dealing with this.
The police are dealing with your son on the 10th of November was assaulted by Tracy.
What? No, what was assaulted? What was assaulted?
He was punched, and I'm sure you are aware of
And
it.
the police are dealing with this.
The police are dealing with it, but I'm not happy that Tracy is still coming to the school. From what I gathered,
So the teacher that punched your son
was
is
here
still in the
at a
school.
point. The teacher was here at a point which was supposed to be taken off.
Mr.
the school.
Autumno,
No.
it's not appropriate to discuss. Not a matter we're doing.
What
No,
happened
because
to
your
my
son was what, suspended?
What happened to my son being assaulted, and at the same time, a suspension letter was handed to him? Is that appropriate?
So it's not appropriate for me to discuss.
Is
What
that
happened to my
appropriate?
son?
Is that
It's not a
appropriate?
matter
It's,
the school's
what
dealing
happened
with.
to my
It's
son?
beyond us.
but
What
she's
happened to
still
my
here.
son?
She's still in the school.
What
I'm
happened
not
to my
prepared
son?
I'm not prepared to discuss that with
Why
you.
wouldn't
It's been-
don't I have
I'm not dealing with
Yeah,
don't
she
I
should
have
not be in the
rights
school.
to know that
As long as there are any
it's not
sort
here?
of assault allegations
It's not-
being
Someone
made,
assaulted
especially
my
on a
son.
child.
Someone
Someone
punched
my
his
son.
son.
Someone
Someone has
my
punched
son.
his son
You have
in
to
your
take him to A&E
And you have appropriately
on that same day.
reported it.
And
It's
you,
not
and you,
appropriate.
and you
Someone punched her son, his
I
son in
can't
the
leave.
school.
This-
Yeah.
You don't have right to tell me to
Yeah.
leave. I cannot leave. You
No.
can call the police if you want. This is a public space. I have right to do what I'm doing.
You can't discuss. I can't
I have
discuss
right
it.
to do what I'm doing.
I've no comments to make.
In the interest of the public, this is the interest
Sir,
in the
this
interest
isn't
of the
the way to
public.
deal with it.
You can call the police if you
Not
want
the
to
way
call
to deal with
the
it.
No,
higher
because
order.
we need to let people know that
need to
children
let the
are coming
public
to
know.
school and being punched by teachers.
It has been dealt
It's-
with appropriately. It has
How?
It has
She's
not
still
been dealt with
here
appropriately.
for 3 weeks.
I
His
have been-
children.
I have been
No,
in contact with
3
the police.
And the thing is, I'm sorry, she would not have seen 3 weeks. She would not have seen 3 weeks.
Oh, God.
And so this was posted by Victoria Azubuke, and she says, I can't believe I'm even writing this. My 10-year-old nephew was punched multiple times by his teacher, Tracy, at Christ the King School in Islington. The 10-year-old had to go to A&E immediately after reporting severe pains across his chest and back areas. They initially suspected the 10-year-old without investigation until one of the supply teachers who was on duty and in the playground reported the incident. I think she meant to write suspended. They initially suspended the 10-year-old without investigation until one of the supply teachers who was on duty and in the playground reported the incident and shared his own version, confirmed the exact version of the 10-year-old. And that's another thing where people aren't believing children.
Exactly. Just thinking that they're making it up.
And it's... which was when the school took the necessary action to remove the suspension while several children went home to tell their parents the exact same version of what they had seen, and the parents who knew my auntie personally contacted her immediately. For the last 3 weeks, 3 of her children who attended the school have been at home whilst she has been looking for a new school, whilst the teacher is still on the school premises and no answers have been given to the family. The 3 children who once all went to the same school have now been divided, with 2 going to one school and 1 going to another primary school, making unnecessary and difficult school runs for my auntie. We're calling for answers from Ofsted, Mayor of London and Met Police, every authority who cares for the safety of children, for immediate answers. No child should ever experience something like this in their childhood. The woman we're speaking of, the woman we are speaking to, so that's the woman in the video, is the head teacher, Ms. Lane, who has provided no emotional support for the family and was the one who issued the suspension for the child and then later on removed it after evidence was found that the teacher punched the child. The lies that were told to pin the attack on my nephew, who was punched by his teacher, the teacher did not only first physically assault him, but then twisted the story to say he was the one who attacked her whilst he was crying, with none of his parents being called in. Wow. But now it's been covered by the news. Now it's been covered by now it's in the news. Now it's in the public domain.
Yeah.
Again, when you don't deal with something in private, one day you'll deal with it in public.
And
But I just think it's wild. And this is what we're talking about, how black children are treated in school. Because you're punching a child, and then immediately, because that child is a black boy, it's like, oh well, he couldn't possibly be the victim in this, so
he's the one that punched me.
And you know that people will believe it because of the things that they believe about black boys.
Exactly, is what the media puts out about black kids and black people. Like, he's a young aggressive boy.
So Miss Lane and Tracy from that school, you can suck out for an eternity.
Honestly.
And you're lucky that it wasn't me that rolled up in that school.
Honestly.
Because the punches, as you punch, so shall you be punched. Yeah? What goes around surely comes back around. Right? With a roundhouse kick. Something would have been done. Because that's ridiculous. You can suck out. And all school systems, you need to listen to children more. And I'm glad that the supply teacher spoke up. I'm glad that other students, other children spoke up as well. Because imagine if no one was around, then it would just be the teacher's version that's believed.
100%.
And as a head teacher, you didn't even ask. Oh, what happened? Immediately, you just suspended the child.
Straight away.
No, you shouldn't be a head teacher anymore. No children should be in your pastoral care. Get out. Everybody, both of you, get out. And Ofsted, do what you need to do, because I don't even like Ofsted, so fuck you as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's episode. I'm really glad you came on. See?
I'm glad. I enjoyed it.
See?
I enjoyed it. But prepare for the comeback, I'm telling you. Because honestly,
come back with a trim.
Honestly, I'm coming back well. But yeah, this was fun.
People keep saying that you look like Damson Idris. I kind of see it in the screen now.
He went to my school, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
we went Woolworth together. No one ever compared us in school together. Only now I've heard it, but yeah.
Wow.
I don't even see it. Maybe it's our nose. I don't know. Because that could be the only thing. But he's a great talent from school. That guy, I could tell. I always thought he was gonna be what's that guy from Rush Hour? Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
I always felt like he was gonna be like him because that
was
what he kind of impersonated in school. He used to dance like Michael Jackson. He was just so. Yeah, and I'm proud to see how he's got. So I don't mind. Keep comparing me to him.
Now put his money in my account.
Let me start receiving some of it. You know what I mean? If you want to compare me.
Compare me well.
Please. But yeah.
No, it's been sick having you on. This is
nice.
fun. So maybe the next time we'll get Sadik to come back on.
Yeah. He will give us more energy.
No, I think we've got energy.
Yeah.
I feel like now he'll just be patterning everybody. Oh no, this is how you do it because I've already been on the podcast. This is how.
This is how you should say it. All right, calm down. That's definitely him. You're right.
But that's that. Thank you all so much for listening to another week of SYM. I've been Kelechi Okafor.
I'm Dapo.
And you have been listening to SYM, officially known as Say Your Mind, unofficially known as what? That's right, Suck Your Mum. Anyways, thank you. Like I said, you can go and get your tarot readings, get your gift card now from the website. And everybody else, please just look after yourselves. We're all, like I keep saying, on a path of learning and of growing, but please make sure that you are in fact learning and you are in fact growing, all right? Because one day, if the wind should blow up your trouser or your skirt, let your nyash be clean. Okay?
Honestly.
Well, that's it anyway. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.
It's the Benz Brunani womanist, baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. Sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hot time scrolling for your long shorts. You might learn something you never know. Kelechi fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say your mind, say your mind.